We heard all the excuses you could possibly imagine for why Disney's race-swap live-action Little Mermaid disappointed in its opening weekend box office, especially overseas. Not only did it get far less than people expected and anticipated and projected domestically, but overseas it was a nightmarish opening weekend that only looks to get worse for Disney and The Little Mermaid. The media tried to blame racism. They tried to say these toxic fans out there, they review bomb because they hate black people. Well, unfortunately for them, in less than a week, that has already blown up in their faces. Maybe they forgot that the very next weekend, the next weekend's big release, was also going to be something led by a black actor. It was also going to be something that's geared towards families, the same demographic that they're after. And unfortunately for Disney, and unfortunately for the mainstream media trying to spin this narrative, Across the Spider-Verse is demolishing the box office right now. Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse swings to 17.4 million in box office previews. Man, it's weird. It's so weird that it had such a big preview night compared to Little Mermaid. It's so weird that it's looking to have a massive Thursday and a massive domestic weekend and international weekend compared to Little Mermaid. Everyone told us that the racists were just rejecting these movies. I guess they forgot. Maybe the racists used up all their racism on Little Mermaid, didn't have enough for Across the Spider-Verse, because as we can see here, Across the Spider-Verse, that audience score not only is the verified audience score at 97%, the all audience is at 96%. Compared to what we saw with The Little Mermaid. We were told this all audience of 56%, it's just review bombing racists. It's so weird that they just decided to not put forth the effort for Across the Spider-Verse for Miles Morales. Same thing goes on Metacritic. There's a Little Mermaid on Metacritic, 2.2, whereas Across the Spider-Verse sitting at an 8.5. The races really need to get all their ducks in a row. They need to put their orders up there for people. They don't understand that they're supposed to review bomb today, according to the mainstream media. And when you do look at these numbers, a $17 million Thursday preview for Across the Spider-Verse is nuts. It's the second biggest opening week or opening day ever for an animated movie behind Incredibles 2. It's looking to do big things at the domestic box office. Now, Deadline put out this article that seems to have really underestimated what this Friday will be at a 40 plus million. Those numbers are just going up and up and up. When I take a look right here, from the looks of it, a $34 million Friday for Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, which would put its total through Friday at $52 million. Compared to what we saw from something like The Little Mermaid, this is pacing well ahead of it. At like $117, $130 million opening weekend, whereas Little Mermaid was at that 95 number. And overseas, it's expected 95 million overseas. You're talking about $200 million plus global opening, where Little Mermaid was 163. The reason this is so important is, one, it completely blows out of the water the entire racism narrative that the media was trying to use about The Little Mermaid. Why is Across the Spider-Verse not getting affected? That'd be very strange, wouldn't it? Be very strange if Across the Spider-Verse wasn't affected in the same way The Little Mermaid was with all this backlash. But also, Across the Spider-Verse only costs $100 million to produce. Little Mermaid is a massive budget. Little Mermaid is something that likely needs to hit $750 million, maybe even more, just to break even. Across the Spider-Verse is not that. Across the Spider-Verse is going to make a shit ton of money because of its lower budget, because it doesn't need to make that much before it actually starts making profit and breaking even. And right now, it is set to completely demolish The Little Mermaid in every single way, while The Little Mermaid is set to have not a very great second weekend. What do you guys think about this ridiculous narrative that people have had out there to defend The Little Mermaid? All of a sudden, Miles Morales, and I gotta be real, people are loving this movie. The energy, the reaction, the reviews, people, for the most part, love this movie. It seems like most people think it's a great time and have fun, and they like the story, they like the characters, and it's showing in the box office. Let me know what you think about all this stuff in the comment section below. Smash a like button, subscribe to the channel, ring the bell for notifications, share this video out there, and I'll talk to you later.